little nice Joe the salad man has a girlfriend. So we're having our first beer, and then Joe's just like, I have to tell you something. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I am really, really sorry. You're going to be really mad at me. And I'm like, mm-hmm. And he's like, I have a girlfriend. What are you thinking? Where is your girlfriend? And I'm like, well, how long have you been together? 2 years. And I'm like, well, do you live together? No. So why are you attempting to reach out and essentially cheat on your girlfriend with me when you don't even have to be with her? We're going to make gluten-free peanut butter, which you may recall is the very first recipe I ever made. And you might say, what does that have to do with Joe having a girlfriend and cheating on her? And I understand that relationships are very difficult because they get very comfortable very fast, and there's something really nice about that. The danger is in getting comfortable and then not revisiting what got you there in the first place. We're going to revisit one of my favorite recipes. Is it still the best recipe for me, or am I just comfortable with it and I just assume it's the best now? Here today with me is Molly Knefel. You may know her from the political and hilarious show Radio Dispatch, which she does with her brother John Knefel. And not only is Molly a genius, but she's also a relationship expert. Really, really smart, and reads really, really smart books about sex, like Sex at Dawn, which I've never read, but I've heard so good. Molly is in what I would call actually a successful relationship with a wonderful man who I think challenges her, is equal to her, and they constantly are pushing themselves to have a better relationship. The temperature of the oven is akin to setting the temperature for your relationship. Yeah. So if you start off with an open, honest relationship with good communication and respect, you're setting the tone for the rest of your relationship.
Set the expectation.
Joe was like, well, I'm just so miserable because I used to be really excited about my career and now I have no one to talk to about it. Why are you in this? You don't have to be unhappy. And if you would just check in and revisit your relationship, you would realize whether or not you're actually happy. And if something needs to change, being unhappy doesn't necessarily mean you need to break up and start dating me, but it does mean something needs to change. So I'm not mad at you. I just want you to know that I want you to be happy. So we've set the tone, which is
3:30.
Oh, 3:30. Oh, and that's the other thing about a relationship is if in the beginning you start out really, really comfortable. I've been in relationships where we started out watching movies all the time and not doing fun things and having conversations. It's really hard to then change that later.
You can't heat up the oven after you've already put the cookies in.
Exactly. Yeah, because that would just burn the cookies and make it inconsistent. Putting in the peanut butter. I use natural peanut butter. The character of the cookies is the peanut butter. It defines the cookie. So the character of your relationship is that initial, is this natural, or is there a lot of hydrogenated oil and high fructose corn syrup in the form of me pretending to be someone I'm not? You can tell Molly's a relationship expert because she knows how to help without even being told.
It's intuitive.
This Joe character...
It sounds like this guy is bad news.
Terrible news. Because I'm like, I can change his life and I can be the one to show him that in a relationship you don't have to be unhappy.
But think about any other time you've been with anybody and you've had to teach them something.
Yeah.
How has it gone?
Well, I'm teaching you how to make these cookies.
Sure, but we're friends and we're not fucking. It sounds like he doesn't know how to treat women well.
Well, obviously. I mean, he's trying to cheat on his girlfriend with me.
So are you going to single-handedly teach him how to treat women well?
Maybe. The sugar is the pure sweetness, fun, sex, affection. I just don't think you can ever have too much.
No need to restrict oneself.
No need. So let's just put all that in there. Then I'm like, okay, well, thank you for telling me. But just so you know, nothing's going to happen.
After he told you about the GF.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chunks in this one.
Yeah.
So to get the sweetness integrated, sometimes it takes some work.
Exactly. And we walk outside. I'm in the middle of saying, I'm not going to be the girl that's like the other woman, because that's just not me, and I respect myself too much. And I'm literally in the middle of the sentence. I'm like, I'm not that... And I say, and he grabs my arm and swings me into him, and our teeth hit, and then we just start making out.
Your teeth hit?
Yeah, that part wasn't that hot.
Yeah, that's not hot at all.
But it was, but I never had someone just like not take no for an answer.
It's hotter the more forbidden it is, right?
And I never thought I was like that. I was like, I don't want to be second choice.
No, we've known that we're all like that.
Vanilla is the subtle kick.
Without vanilla, a baking recipe is nothing, really.
Right. It's like a shared sense of humor. Because that is shockingly important.
I mean, the scenario is hot. It's very romance novel-y.
It is.
You know, it's very like literally the pose you're describing is the cover of every romance novel.
It was. I know we're not supposed to want that, but just like being so irresistible was so hot.
Well, also female sexuality is we're given a lot of mixed messages as women. We're supposed to simultaneously not have any sexuality, because if we do, then that's too slutty and that's bad. And then at the same time, we're supposed to be like perfectly, flawlessly, effortlessly sexual. So you're in this weird middle space where you're like, well, how can I accommodate the fact that I actually do have a sex drive, but I don't want to be shamed for it? Egg.
Egg is really kind of the part of relationships.
Like if one of you is sick.
If one of you is sick, definitely. Or in this case, were Joe to decide to tell his girlfriend about what he did, and then they got through it together. Also adds protein. Strength. Binding.
Did he say that he's going to tell her?
No, he was like, I want to see you again. When can I see you again?
You're turned on by the, like, very, like, kind of hyper-masculine act of him being like, I'm grabbing you. But really, what could be less attractive than a guy who can't even decide what he wants?
What?
Chocolate chips.
The chocolate chips are the garnish. The other things represented the base of a relationship. These are the accessories.
These are a choice, also.
You can put anything.
Or peanut butter chocolate chips.
I knew that you like peanut butter chocolate chips. And I don't usually put these in here, but I knew you were coming over, so...
Oh.
You do this part.
Okay. This is like the part where you want to do something special for people even after you've known them a long time.
And where you take what you know about them and make things special.
Very important.
Wait, you have to put the whole bag in.
I have to put the whole bag.
Oh, yeah.
All in.
All in.
Don't hold back.
Don't hold back.
Yeah.
Don't hold back on your love for the person you've known forever.
If you start to take each other for granted, if you start to assume, oh, we're together, we're stable, nothing I do matters.
You don't have to do anything special.
I can wear frumpy sweatpants. You want to be like, you know what? I want to look good for this person. Always. And I want to treat them well, and I want to do something special. I want to put peanut butter chocolate chips in their cookies when they don't expect me to. And you don't get into that rut of, like, giving accessories in one another's lives rather than treasures. Like peanut butter chocolate chips.
You just fight all the time.
You're a bit of a ball sack. Ball sacks are weak and tender and exposed.
The baking time is like the time of a relationship. And you have to do it for the right amount of time. If it's time to leave, it'll get burned. If you take it out too soon, it'll be raw, like if you maybe give up too early. Just the right amount of time so it still tastes delicious. Okay, we have to scoop them into balls, like a ball sack. Ta-da! We've got our little ball sacks all lined up and ready to bake and grow up and become sturdier and firm and edible. Ta-da!
Oh, yeah.
Sea salt. Salt is like the arguments you get in, because those really move you forward. I've been in relationships where we had no disagreements, and you'd think that would be good, but it actually meant there was no dimension. Salt is what keeps people coming back for more.
Salt also does a thing where I think it opens up your taste buds to taste more things than you normally would.
Oh, totally.
It's really exciting, and you taste so much more than before. There's a difference. That's what makes me drool.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Salt does that drool mechanism. And at the end of the day, that's what love is about, is your drool mechanism. Mm-hmm. Joe, if you're not going to end your relationship, then you better throw some salt into it and make it work. Because I don't want everyone suffering. Heat up your balls and put some salt on them. Should I go out with Joe again?
Not until he treats you right.
But he said he just wants to hang out with me as friends.
He doesn't. Nobody means that.
That's all. Enjoy. Happy, ball eating.
So bittersweet.